Summit. The summit's theme is From Vision to Action, a forum to unlock participatory democracy, and will feature a nonpartisan gubernatorial candidate forum focused on issues of importance to the African American community. The summit is the signature public policy-oriented observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy during the national 3-day holiday weekend that celebrates his life. This year's summit will be held on Saturday, January 17th, 2026 at the California Science Center in Exposition Park from 9 to 11 a.m. Admission is free, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. All major announced candidates for California governor for the Democratic and Republican Party nominations have been invited to participate in the candidate forum, which will be moderated by Tavis Smiley. An all-star panel of journalists will pose questions to the candidates, and the forum will be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580. This is going to be a big year for local, state, and national politics. The political pulse of 2026 beats on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hit the backwood like a freak though. You next level, you a chick, oh. In so deep, you hit my seat plug. Got me singing like Alicia. Got me using all your lingo. Tell your girlfriend that you single. Call me over cause I go hard. Sweet little bit for like a porn star. Next day, act just like your road dog. Asking how you know her. That game stupid, baby, loca. Too loud, cállate la boca. Out this world is supernova. That ain't coming over. Come over, can I stop by to see you tonight? Can I stop by to see you? We're both on fire, love the teamwork. Leave with juices on your t-shirt. Loud and clear, no need for reverb. Tell the Uber driver reverb. Flip that.
Welcome in. Happy Thursday. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And of course, this is the show where we hit off all the trending topics and headlines. And tonight is one of those conversations where freedom, image, power, and accountability all crash into each other at the same time. We are talking a pastor's wife pushing back on critics who say her dress crossed the line. And for me, the real question becomes, are there still spaces where respectability politics apply? Or do we just let commentary be the dominator as far as what's appropriate or not? Shout out to Andy, because that is my song. Really, a lot of songs by Kalani. I really like her as an artist. Taurus Queen. I know we're not in season, but I'm acknowledging. So we're also getting into a legendary R&B singer who says there's too much booty in music right now. And that is why R&B is not at the top like it used to be, right? And there's an NFL star that is facing some serious allegations of abuse. And I want to talk about the thoughts behind when the young ladies bring it to the timeline before they involve authorities. So we'll have a conversation around that. Plus, we have an interview coming up because it is Thursday. So, you know, it's Front Row Thursdays with Cedric the Entertainer and comedian Malik S.
Hold on.
Yes.
Front Row Thursday?
Front Row Thursday.
What happened to Front Row Friday, though?
Front Row Friday has moved to Jill's YouTube channel because tomorrow at 6 p.m. Big ups to our sports personality here, Ray and Neil, who comes along with him for... Andy, what is the show called? I almost called it something completely not it. Is it Out of Bounds?
Out of Bounds.
Okay.
Right.
I was going to say something. In my mind, I'm like, wait, is that it? Out of Bounds tomorrow, 6 p.m., debuting right here.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get you caught up with all the sports storylines, things that are happening, get you connected and ready because, you know, we are coming up on next weekend. No, we got maybe 2 weeks for the wild card.
No, it's this weekend.
It is this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So wild card weekend, we're in the NBA season. It's past Christmas. So that means for a lot of y'all, the season is kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's lots of things happening. So make sure that you are here at 6 p.m. on YouTube Stiletto. Jill, at 5 p.m. for Front Row Fridays.
Oh, you coming on at 5?
At 5, yeah.
I'm going to catch you later.
I'll
be over here working.
I know, you'll be working. I'm coming on at 5 because at 6, I'm going to be locked into Out of Bounds.
Look at her. Okay.
Shout out to them. All right, you guys. So, like I said, tonight... Later, we have coming up an interview with Cedric the Entertainer and comedian Malik S. He has a comedy special dropping on Sunday on YouTube, and it's directed by Cedric the Entertainer. So we're going to talk to them about that and comedy and mentorship.
Quick question.
Yes.
I've noticed that a lot of comedians lately have been broadcasting their specials on YouTube as opposed to, Netflix or have you noticed that?
So I think that there's a lot of things that are happening, right? Much like with all of the other things, creators are really serious about considering themselves production companies, media companies, right? There is a pay option to YouTube or Patreon, all of these things. There is an audience that is there, and that money goes directly to you. So you can do direct-to-consumer marketing, and for your bottom line, and building a community, which is what going forward is going to be able to help push personalities through, is building community, then it makes sense. There are now obviously Netflix has the reach, but there are other areas and placements.
Do they though? In comparison to YouTube, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. YouTube is the biggest streaming service out there. I know a lot of people don't consider YouTube a streamer in that regard, but technically they are. Netflix, let's say, has more prestige as a streamer. If you're thinking about and I don't even know how long, because Netflix launched as the stream-only platform in 2010, 2011?
Yeah, I was going to say they way after YouTube for sure.
So... but the concept of, the streaming thing, Netflix has become what everybody's chasing.
I feel you. I always looked at Netflix as like the movie thing. You know what I'm saying? So I see that they're, branching out to TV shows and sports.
Podcasts, all of that.
Yeah.
Bill Simmons is doing his podcast live this weekend. We know the Breakfast Club, Joe and Jada, and a bunch of others are coming to Netflix fully, which means that their content won't be on YouTube at all. Choking out the competition. We'll see what happens with that. Listen, when we come forward, I got a little update on the Beyonce tour theft case. What he really should have done is let us know what Act 3 was going to be, but we'll give you those details. Plus more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Picture this, you're on a date, and then bad breath happens. Confidence gone. Here's the truth. Most gums and mints are just bad breath Band-Aids, but not Zellman's Minty Mouth. The functional breath freshener you swallow. Tiny dual-action capsules with mint on the outside, parsley seed oil inside, clinically tested to fight the toughest offenders, even garlic and onions. It's only available online. Go to Zellmans.com, Z-E-L-M-I-N-S, Zellmans.com, code FRESH for 15% off.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So, if at any point you want to join the conversation, 800-920-1580. That's our number. Call us up. Say hi. Don't be shy. You can also get at us on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill everywhere. Download the app to catch up on past episodes or join our community, the VIPs, in the YouTube chat. Shout out to them. You can get the visual to go along with this audio experience. Now, let's get into all of these things. First up, I mentioned Beyonce really quick. And the gentleman that is accused of stealing Beyonce's hard drive with unreleased music, right? His name is Kelvin Evans. He's 40 years old. He pled not guilty yesterday in Fulton County. He was charged with entering an automobile with intent to commit theft, criminal trespass. And this theft occurred last July at the Cowboy Carter Atlanta tour stop. And the items allegedly taken were jump drives containing unreleased music, show plans, Apple devices, and a MacBook Pro. So his next court date is February 11th. We'll see if it's real or not. You know what I forgot to mention this week? First up, yesterday, I wanted to send blessings and continued love and prayer to the people of Altadena and Palisades on the fires. We do an excellent job here of covering that year-round, but I just wanted to make a point to mention that. And Royal Jenkins mentioned, shout out to Blue Ivy, she turned 14 yesterday. But on the 6th, the thing that I really forgot to mention, happy anniversary to us, y'all. It is officially our 1-year anniversary here in KBLA on the Jill Munroe Show. So I forgot to thank you guys and celebrate you for tuning in each and every Monday through now Thursday at 6 p.m. for your trending topics and headlines. You have a lot of choices and you choose to spend it with me, and I greatly appreciate it. And, thank you. Just thank you. So there's that. All right, let's get into these topics. Now, Karri Turner Bryant, respectability politics, and the cost of public positions and commentary, right? That's basically what we're getting into, right? Where freedom ends and commentary begins. Now, I will say this. You guys might be surprised a little bit at my stance on this, but it's kind of floating in the gray area, I feel. So Pastor Jamal Bryant, his wife, Karri Turner Bryant, wore a dress to the UNCF Atlanta mayor's mass ball. And suddenly the conversation wasn't about the charity or education or Black excellence. It was about whether the pastor's wife should be dressed like that, looking like that. Of course, this comes on the heels of Dr. Cheyenne Bryant wearing the black lace see-through number with the green undergarments to the Jeezy performance, also in Atlanta. Could it be an Atlanta vibe? I don't know. And then a few weeks before that, we talked about Ice Spice attending the SpongeBob premiere in a see-through lace outfit with thong out.
All right, pause. Hold on real quick.
The Ice Spice one is separate?
No.
Oh.
So the way you described Cheyenne Bryant and the event that she attended, there was an issue with her outfit?
Yeah. People were very, very upset. They were saying that it was inappropriate, not classy, not becoming of someone in her position.
Wow. To go see Young Jeezy.
But it's Young Jeezy, the orchestra.
Oh, really?
So black tie was requested. That was the attire. Jeezy's in a tuxedo. It was a black tie affair.
Okay, so in a black tie affair, when it comes to the ladies, I mean, it's pretty flexible with y'all, right? I mean, it's not expected for y'all to wear a suit or a gown or something, right?
No. So I think this is kind of relating it to the Karri Bryant topic. I think for Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, when people hold you in a certain esteem or you are being presented as such, especially one with the church, two with an academic, people do not feel like you should be in clothing that looks like lingerie outside of your home.
You talking about Cheyenne or you talking about
I'm talking about both. That is what they were attributing Karri's ensemble to. Not just that it was fitted and she had body, although I'm sure that was some people's issue. They felt it looked like lingerie. I mean, both are beautiful women, right? Stunning. Especially Karri.
I get Pastor Bryant's wife, but Cheyenne Bryant's, like, where's her association with the church?
It's not church with her.
Okay.
What I'm saying with her is it's just about positioning and where people consider someone and how they present. Do you not agree that there are some things you might do at 20 that you no longer do at 40? Right? And again, I'm not saying that they shouldn't wear these. I'm just saying that for a lot of people, it's an issue of class, tact, and time. And that there are some spaces that don't necessarily require you to be in club attire. And add on to that with Karri, obviously she is married to a pastor of a church, so they definitely feel like that individual should be more conservative, you know? So Morris Phillips says, a woman of God doesn't expose sexual images in public. Case closed. That might be a little more heavy-handed, but I do think that there is time and place at times for things. I guess that is a part of me that is a little old school. Again, I'm not saying that they should not have worn the outfits, period. But I do think sometimes you should consider, and again, this is a little grayer when you're talking about Dr. Cheyenne, but I mean, Dr. Karri, you married a man of the cloth. But we're going to hear, did I call her Dr. Karri? I didn't mean to do that. My bad. Just Karri. Dr. Cheyenne. Some people have questions about that, but not us. We're going to roll with what she says. Let's listen to what Karri had to say when she was on Tamron Hall about all y'all's opinions.
Did you have even a sliver of doubt before you walked out to go to the event about the dress and that it might create a stir?
People have said, she knew it would get this reaction. My ego is not that big. Wow. I don't dress for people. I dress for myself and for my husband. I am a wife. Yeah. I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I have a doctorate, I'm a professor. There are plenty of things that I do. And the challenge is we often want to see a woman be one-dimensional. I am multi-dimensional. I carry multiple titles. Now, what you choose to call me on whatever day is fine for whatever that might be. But I think that there is this idea that a woman can only be one thing. And once I happened to marry a pastor pastor. I happened to fall in love with a man who is a pastor, right? And so with that came the title of First Lady, but there is no book for that. There is no manual for what that looks like. And I have decided that the title does not define me. I define what the title is.
So Andy's going up right now as far as his applause. And the thing is, I feel her, but I still do think that there are certain places where you just got to think about what you're lining yourself up for, and that there is a level that people consider where they expect more conservative behavior. That's just the reality of it, right? If people were complaining about the teachers in the classrooms because they felt like their skirts were too tight, teacher bay and stuff like that, right? They weren't dressed inappropriately for the class. It wasn't sheer and see-through. It didn't give lingerie. I am all for, hey, again, if you like it, I love it. But I just do think sometimes you have to consider your position. You do. Michelle Obama did not get braids for 8 years for that reason.
Man, but she got ridiculed for showing her arms, though.
Right. And that was wrong. Wrong that she was ridiculed.
Okay.
Wrong that she was ridiculed. KG in the chat says it's not being heavy-handed. She was not appropriately dressed. She looked like she was getting ready to back up Beyonce on stage. She's an exhibitionist, and so is her husband.
So hold on, though.
I don't know. That's deep.
So to all my church ladies out there, y'all can't dress sexy?
I think it's time and place.
That's in the house in front of your partner, huh?
I'm not saying they can't go outside, but I think that people expect certain things from their first lady and pastor of a church.
I mean, I know about certain denominations where like women can't even, they have to wear like stockings and stuff like that. They can't show no skin, none whatsoever. And I'm like, I get it, but man,
that's a little crazy to me.
Extreme.
I mean, but I do think that there are certain places that maybe you want to, think a little differently, but it's a choice.
But she was right there with her husband.
Yeah.
So like, why is everybody else tripping?
Because she's the first lady of a church. They already look at him sometimes kind of, crazy because he was rumored to or did step out on his first marriage to Giselle. But, Mr. Alvizi says, I saw the Cheyenne Bryant pic. They need to leave her alone. That's a good, clean girl. Lucas Frank says, if you got it, flaunt it. That's my rule. We don't mind Kim K, but Lizzo, again, fair. But here's my thing. I don't mind Lizzo doing her thing, but I thought when she wore her booty cheeks out at the Laker game, bit inappropriate, bit much. I didn't think her cheeks needed to be out at the Laker game. And I don't care if it was Rihanna, anybody. Leave your booty cheeks covered at a basketball game, dog. But again, I'm not mad at them. It's just a personal choice. We got a caller on the line, Fahima from D.C. Fahima, welcome in. What's on your mind this evening?
Well, first, Happy New Year to both you and Andy. I haven't spoken to you guys since last year. And hopefully 2026 will be better than 2025 was to all of us. And I want to preface my comments as the granddaughter of pastors. Both my grandparents were AME ministers, and I later joined the Pentecostal church. That being said, this was a formal gala event for UNCF where Brian and his wife donated $4,000.
$4 million.
$4 million. I'm sorry. Where they donated $4 million. This was not a Sunday afternoon church luncheon. And to quote Bryant, some folks ain't used to being nowhere. First of all, she was dressed appropriately for the event, and there was some AI altering. This was a flesh-colored gown. People edited it and made it look like it was see-through. Okay, people got too much times on their hand, and they need to mind their business, as Bryant said. I mean, get over it. Frankly, I think the lady who wore a pantsuit to the event, she wasn't dressed appropriately.
I didn't see the pantsuit. I mean, like I said, for me, I feel like, especially as beautiful women, people are going to look at you a little stiffer, right? Give you a little more once over because they know the reaction that beautiful women get. But I do think that, do you not think that there are certain positions where people have a different expectation of behavior?
Well, first of all, I think people need to mind their business. This was a gala event, and she was dressed appropriately for a gala event. And again, there was digital alterations. People were making it seem like it was a see-through dress, and it wasn't. It was simply flesh tone. They need to get over themselves and focus on themselves. Maybe if they got themselves together, work on themselves with some New Year's resolution, they could have looked as lovely as she did.
That's right, Fahima. You better light them up. When we come forward, we're trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The White House says the deadly ICE shooting in Minneapolis is tied to what it calls an organized left-wing movement. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says law enforcement is under attack and accused Democrats of trying to abolish immigration and customs enforcement.
The Department of Homeland Security will continue to operate on the ground in Minnesota.
The shooting happened during an enforcement operation where a federal agent killed American citizen Renee Nicole Good. Some Tallahassee, Florida residents are protesting the city's decision to sell the Capital City Country Club for more than $1 million. The National Park Service says the land may contain unmarked graves of formerly enslaved people. And the man accused of stealing Beyonce's unreleased music in Atlanta has pleaded not guilty. Kelvin Evans entered the plea during a virtual Fulton County court hearing. Prosecutors say he stole a laptop and hard drives from an SUV last summer while Beyonce was in town. His next court date is set for next month. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Let's start off in El Segundo on the 405 southbound. Coming up on El Segundo Boulevard, where a crash has been blocking the left lane, slowing down the drive out of West LA, leaving Santa Monica Boulevard. Also in downtown Los Angeles, the 101 northbound before Alameda, a crash has just been cleared to the shoulder, but the drive pushes back away from the 60. Anaheim Hills, 91 eastbound at Cole Canyon. Second lane from the left is blocked due to a crash. Looks like these things should be off to the shoulder, but drive's looking pretty dense, getting away from Weir Canyon, overall slowing from Kramer Glassell.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
If you have the skills to be an NFL head coach, this is a good time to be job hunting. There are now 8 NFL teams looking for a new head coach. The Miami Dolphins are the latest team to tell their guy to clean out his office. They fired Mike McDaniel Thursday morning after 4 seasons. Along with Miami, these are the teams in need of a new head coach. Atlanta, Cleveland, Baltimore, Arizona, Tennessee, the New York Giants, and Las Vegas Raiders. Lakers star Luka Doncic is still leading the NBA in scoring. Doncic is averaging 33.7 per game. Clippers star Kawhi Leonard leads the NBA in steals with 2.2 per game. Friday night at 6 p.m., Out of Bounds is moving to prime time. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough for 60 minutes of sports chatter with some black folks flavor. And you can be a part of the conversation at 1-800-920-1580. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to partner with the Empowerment Congress once again for their 34th annual summit. The summit's theme is From Vision to Action, a forum to unlock participatory democracy, and will feature a nonpartisan gubernatorial candidate forum focused on issues of importance to the African American community. The summit is the signature public policy-oriented observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy during the national 3-day holiday weekend that celebrates his life. This year's summit will be held on Saturday, January 17th, 2026 at the California Science Center in Exposition Park from 9 to 11 a.m. Admission is free, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. All major announced candidates for California governor for the Democratic and Republican Party nominations have been invited to participate in the candidate forum, which will be moderated by Tavis Smiley. An all-star panel of journalists will pose questions to the candidates, and the forum will be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580. This is going to be a big year for local, state, and national politics. The political pulse of 2026 beats on KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know that streaming music, ebooks, audiobooks, movies, and more is available for free from the Los Angeles Public Library? With your library card, you can access the latest music and movies, audiobooks and ebooks, graphic novels, comic books, magazines, and more. If you don't have a library card and live in the city of Los Angeles, you can get a digital card online for free. Check it out at lapl.org/emedia. That's lapl.org/emedia.
Still battling a thirsty lawn that guzzles water and drains your wallet? Let LADWP turn that patch of grass into a gorgeous drought-smart garden for free. We're talking a full California-friendly landscape makeover designed and installed by pros at no cost to you. That's right, LADWP does the work, you get the upgrade. Ready to transform your yard and save big? Visit LADWP.com/leap. That's LADWP.com/LEAP.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. You know, Aaliyah's birthday is coming up next week. She's a Capricorn queen. Okay, listen, we're going to get into what Jamal Bryant had to say to his congregation on this matter. And I'm letting you know right now, we're going to put a pin in the Shawn Stockman conversation about too much booty in R&B music, and we'll repick that up next week. But let's hear what Jamal Bryant had to say about your thoughts on his wife's attire.
I needed to get this straight. I needed to deal with it head on, because the other day the internet went crazy about a dress my wife had on. Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund. They never mentioned that she prayed until heaven came down. They never said anything about this was the largest fundraiser for for HBCUs in the country. But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded people got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now, you got to help some people, because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for
So, that's what he had to say. Basically, y'all sit down, be quiet. You heathens, you jealous onlookers, chill out. So, I mean, again, I am very much of the if you like it, I love it mindset. But I do think that some thought should be put into where and what we wear. Again, not saying that the dress was inappropriate. I'm not even necessarily saying that she shouldn't have worn it there, specifically speaking of Karri Bryant. But I am saying that there is an expectation many have for those that are religious leaders. That's just it. There doesn't necessarily have to be a written playbook. There is a blueprint of the many women that have come before. And of course, you're allowed to shape and change as you will, but at the same time, understand that there's going to be resistance, and the resistance is going to be loud at times. So there's that. All right, switching gears, right? We continue to hear stories of domestic violence, especially of young women that are involved with high-profile men. And my only question, concern, I guess, besides the obvious, is I really hope that these young ladies are going to law enforcement with as much vigor as they come to the internet. Because when you only settle on the internet, it makes things look fuzzy. So in the situation that we're currently talking about, Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice is facing some serious allegations, right? And before anyone jumps to a conclusion, these are just allegations, okay? The details are heavy, though, and the claims are very specific. And listen, his ex-girlfriend, Dakota Nicole, posted on Instagram yesterday, January 7th, sharing photos with visible bruising. Her face looked as if it had been raked across. The house was destroyed, like a light switch was hanging on barely. What happened to the light switch? She had bruises on various parts of her body, and her claims are that she endured abuse for over 8 years, including while she was pregnant. She is the mother of their 2 sons. Right? She said that he destroyed clothing as well as personal items. She said that she is tired of protecting his image. There was no response to the Chiefs as far as before I got on. But I don't know. It's such a hard situation because some people are speculating that she chose to put this out now because he recently went public with a woman named Ruby Rose, who is a model, Instagram chick, Instagram baddie, another beautiful young lady. This woman was beautiful as well, but who has known to date high-profile men. So some are questioning the timing of this. And as I said, if she is simply coming to the internet or if she is taking the proper legal steps for this, because what do you want us to do? And again, I understand we talked about this a lot with the Diddy trial, the politics, the pressure when you're with someone and they are the star of the show. People may not necessarily take you as serious, but because of that, I think it's imperative that you take the correct steps if you want to be taken seriously. Again, not implying that she is not being truthful about what she is presenting, not saying that she is. We don't know at this time. What I am saying is that to go along with that, it helps if you are taking the proper legal steps so that we understand that this isn't just about finance or, retaliation for something else. So those are my final thoughts on that. If you have thoughts, feel free to share them with me. Listen, coming up, as I mentioned, we have an interview with Cedric the Entertainer and comedian Malik S. regarding the Laughing Voodoo special that is dropping this Sunday, January 11th on YouTube. Cedric the Entertainer is directing it, and they've worked with each other a long time. So we had a conversation about comedy, AI and comedy, mentorship, and all of those things. So lock in and check that out and enjoy your Friday, friends. I'll see you guys on Monday.
entertainment scoop in Los Angeles. She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
Trainer Games on Prime Video January 8th. Watch the trailer on trainergames.com.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Starting out, Malik, this special covers a lot of things, life events, those moments and highlights. What was the one moment in your life where you realized, I want to be a comedian?
I actually went to go see the Kings of Comedy. It was a while back, and saw Cedric, DL, Bernie, Steve Harvey, and then one of my friends was like, "Hey man, you should do this. You can do that." And I was like, "Man, I don't think I could do it." He was like, "You should do it." And he was like, "He's gonna join the army." I was like, "Dude, we don't go to the military. Like, where we from? We from the hood." And he was like, "No, I'm serious. I'm gonna try. I'm go to the military." I was like, "Well, if you go to the military, I'm gonna try comedy." And he went to the military, so I had to try comedy, and that's how I started.
So fast forwarding all that time, that's an incredible story to start yourself out. And then the inspiration is now directing your comedy special. So Cedric, that's not just a cosign, that's an investment. What was it about Malik that made you say, not only am I behind this individual, I want to direct his special?
You know, I think from the very, very beginning, probably that same hubris that he had to be like, yo, I can be up on a Kings of Comedy stage, to look up there and so I can do that is the what he brings to the stage every night. So when I first met him, he was opening for DL, and he was really funny. DL, of course, DL Hughley, one of the great comedians, one of my fellow kings, but this guy was holding it down, like he was on stage killing it, and I was like, oh man. And I always like really great comedians to go up in front of me. So, I basically poached him. I was like, and so, but he came right on in and, did what he does, a great job of being a wonderful host, a great comedian, a great collaborator. And so as I saw him grow, I thought this guy is definitely ready for prime time. People need to know who he is. And so I was really honored to be able to shoot his special because I see him work almost every night. So I'm like, yo, I know what you need, and so and that's what we put together. And I'm really proud of this piece of art.
So for you, Malik, hearing that, what was it like working with Cedric as a director, as opposed to any of the other ways that you guys have interacted with prior to this? And did he pull something out of you that was surprising?
Well, it was easy because the relationship was already established. It was just basically now we just adding cameras. So it wasn't, it wasn't nothing different. It was just that we had 5 cameras there. He added more cameras, so he made it more expensive, but it came out great. So the vision that he had, I didn't get to see it because I was performing. I didn't get to see it till it was done, and I was like, oh, okay, like, wow, like it really was really shot really well. We had a screening recently, and the two compliments we got was the material was excellent and it was shot excellent. So it was equal parts that we both got compliments for what we did. So it came out great. You couldn't ask for a better outcome.
And I think, our relationship, because it goes, beyond just the stage and performing, we, over these years performed a great friendship. So in the beginning of the special, you'll see this conversation that happens that is probably a more of a testament of who we are. It's this idea of getting his story, him, explaining his love for his mom and his parents, and that idea of what made him a go-getter, the kind of person that has tenacity. And I think I was able to pull that out by knowing exactly who he is. So in those moments, we saw like this kind of crazy regular dude getting ready, felt like, this vulnerability. And then he go and hit the stage and like just straight shooter at that point, even Malik S.
So, Cedric, you've been doing this long enough that you know the difference between trends and telling the truth as far as through the comedy lens. What was it about Laughing Voodoo that made you say this is a story that deserves to be given this type of scope right now? And for you, Malik, what was it about this particular material that you were like, this is the special that I need to pull it together and have Cedric bless as far as direction?
Well, I mean, to go to him, you got to know it's good and you got to be confident and know, because I'm not going to go to him if it's not, if it's not ready, if it's not tight, if it's not perfected, because I'm not going to waste his time or, just bring something to him that's not really developed yet. But the material is all basically, it's all true. I just pull from my life and I just pull from how I see life. Either I'm pulling from my life or I'm just telling you how I see things. So none of it is really made up. It's just embellished.
Yeah, and I think for me, like say, I work with him, Malik, one of my guys that opened for me, and every night, he make it hard. Like this guy is on stage and he coming up with unique, funny material, and I have to come off and go, hey man, when you write that one, and hey man, that was good right there. So I think me just being aware of that energy and knowing like he's gonna work hard, that he is gonna experiment. He's got a voice that's his very own. One that the way he approaches the material is stuff that's Malik is going. Only Malik kind of thought of that one, and so and knowing that it's so many great comedians that will, we kind of run past that era of, everybody getting an HBO or Netflix special and blowing up. We're looking for these places where guys who are really good need an opportunity to be seen. So for me to attach my brand along with him and to see him have his own unique space and time and light is really what it's all about. Like I'm here connected to it, but in a way only to give it merit, only to say, hey, this is what you should be looking at nowadays. So that's it.
So kind of along those lines for both of you, we are very much in an AI era where, people can try and go to ChatGPT to get them to write a joke or something like that. What is it about the human experience and with comedians that for someone like Malik, there's nothing that AI could duplicate? He's just sharper and on point. What is that experience or those touch points for you as far as comedians?
It's just real life experiences. I mean, AI is just, it's not going to be able to have that human connection. Like when you're talking about just being like things that men go through and aging, you know what I'm saying? Like me coming into a certain age where people a few years older than me already been through it. So that resonates. Like AI can't really capture that. And AI can't capture delivery. So even if AI wrote the joke, can you deliver it? Because some of the funniest jokes, you deliver them because you really believe it. You're not just reciting lines. You really believe in what you're saying. So when I really believe what I'm saying, it's that much funnier because I'm really saying what I'm saying. Y'all just happen to be laughing, but this is how I feel.
But I think that that's true. I mean, you got to be in the moments. You got to see life as life. Like, like that painting behind you. That's you in your Kwanzaa outfit. You look like, hey, I can't go, sister. No.
But it's okay.
Yeah, I can't do that.
So, along those lines, in this special, it's a certain phase of life, as you talked about. You talk about divorce, your children. Your children are teenagers. How do you balance that? I'm giving it to you how I see it and what's happening with life, but be aware of their feelings because, this stuff can reach them in a different way than it could maybe, 20 years ago when the Kings of Comedy came out.
Right. Well, my kids, they grew up in this. So they grew up in this. I'm like, his kid grew up in this. And so they understand daddy's at work, and daddy probably gonna tell some of our business, but I also get to go skiing. So, I also get to get a new car for my 16th birthday. So, hey, I got to do my part. So my kids, I don't say nothing really malicious about my kids. Like, there's a lot of things that happens that I won't put on stage, you know what I mean? But it's the surface stuff,
You said they couldn't fight.
They can't fight because they suburban kids. I mean, come on. They
know they can't.
Yeah, they know they can't fight. They're not fighting nobody. My kids keep their phone on 9-1 just in case because they don't want to press 3 numbers. So they just.
No, that's so. As far as putting this special together, and Cedric, you as a director, what were the things that you looked for? Because, when you're shooting something, sometimes it can soften the edges or the edge of the comedy. What were the things that you did to kind of make sure that you still presented Malik in his raw element?
This was one that I noticed Malik lately, he would actually sit down on stage a lot on the stool. And so I figured that he's approaching comedy, even though he's like the young guy in the group, he kind of says this in his special about being perceived a lot younger than what he actually is. And he's the young guy in our crew. But, this idea of sitting down when you're doing stand-up, meaning that you got more that you want people to understand about what it is you're about to say. You're not going to really hit you with a bunch of jokes, a barrage of jokes back to back. And even though he's got plenty of material, so I wanted to make sure that the lighting and the mood told the story. And so what we did, we picked a lot of shots that were intimate. So I was like, I've seen Malik, he's had other specials. They're up, they're big, they're bright, they're on the shiny floor. We kind of went with this idea of like, let's go inside this guy's head. And so we were very cool. We moved really smoothly. We went wide to give you perspective of what, like any joke he was saying. But then for the most part, I was telling you this joke from where you could see him and almost get his thought process as he's about to tell the joke. And so it really worked in watching it and watching people respond to it. It's how he tells a joke. He tell a joke where you got to kind of follow in, and then I'm gonna give you the things. And then then he'll surprise you where he's up doing something big. And I knew that was coming. And so I was like, get out. We need to see this wide shot. And all these things end up feeling really exciting to the audience when you're watching them. So that was my approach to it.
So for both of you, longevity is a part of the engine that you present. What's an unsexy principle that you stand by that has gotten you to this point in your career?
I mean, just be a genuine person, man. Be a good person. Work hard. I've been blessed to be around hard workers. I'm been around people like with D.L. Hughley. This guy still works every weekend. I've been around him. He's always got 6 projects going. So when I'm around people that got 100 times more money than me and they working just as hard as me, I have to work hard because I'm like, they have money, they have success, they can relax, but they're not. So how can I not work twice as hard when people who's 10 times more successful than me, I'm not gonna let somebody more successful than me outwork me. I gotta work hard too, because if he's still working hard, who am I to be like, nah, I'm tired, this is what I know. This is how I grew up in the comedy game. I've just been around people that work hard, and even though they super successful.
Yeah. And I think, mine is, kind of pretty much the same thing. I like, ain't no time to be no hater. Ain't no time, to worry about what the next man got. You got to go out and get yours. And then, and I always say this, in this world of stand-up and being a comedian, once they say your name, you next. Yeah. So it ain't no, you better, so always stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Because once they say, ladies and gentlemen, Cedric the Entertainer, that's it. You got to go out there now, sir. Yeah. You got to go. So that's it.
So what has this experience shown you both creatively and professionally? How has it stretched you both?
Well, for me, I mean, it's exciting and nervous because I'm putting kind of like my life's work out into the world now. You know, it's one thing to just do live shows because those people are there, but now it's going out to the world. So I'm very excited and nervous at it, but it's good. It's good energy, not like nervous, like, oh, it's going to be bad. Just nervous, like, come on, let's get to it. And I'm looking forward to the next one already. And if we did this magic, and let's see, we're going to do it again. I mean, if, we're going to do 20 million views, we're going to do it again. You know why? If it ain't broke, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's the key for me, too. The opportunity. I have directed before, but never another stand-up, So this idea of, knowing that somebody I appreciate, I watch their work, I'm a fan of theirs, and to have the opportunity to be able to say, look, I got your vision. I'm set with my abilities and my vision, and we're going to deliver something that's going to be satisfying to the masses and us all. And to see the special come out the way that it did, that the big last joke, like all these things that really hit people, like, oh, that was like really Laughing Voodoo, and I'm just, so I think that's the elevation that I want to be able to continue to ride. Like, is like to know that if I see something in somebody and I believe in it, I can use my, my skill set and my connections and put people on. Only if they, again, prove themselves worthy and working hard. He set the mark, right? And so that was something we talked about last night. Like, it's like, you saw what he did. Don't come looking at me about your little corny special if you ain't ready, bro. Like,
but they coming.
Yeah.
They coming. They're going to be coming to him. They're going to be coming to him.
Man, I ain't doing no regular degular.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. President Trump is seeking reimbursement for legal costs tied to the Fulton County, Georgia election interference case. A law passed last year allows defendants to recover fees incurred after Black District Attorney Fonnie Willis was removed from the case. A motion filed in Fulton County